When rappers sign their multi-million-dollar record deals, they love to spend most of the money. They buy the craziest items you will ever see, such as the items Lil Baby has purchased. Starting out with the 7 cars that Lil Baby has purchased, his first one was a Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, costing him $150,000. This comes in with a convertible as well as a white paint finish. It's actually one of his favorite rides for everyday use due to the interior being fit with leather padded seating. Then underneath the hood, the car is powered by a V8 supercharged engine that boosts up to 212 miles an hour while accelerating the supercar to 60 in only 3 seconds.
Oh, that's it.
However, one Corvette was not enough for Lil Baby. He would end up splashing another $100,000 on the Z06 Corvette. He had this customized with an orange paint finish. It is nearly identical to his other Corvette. However, Lil Baby wanted one for just his friends to use. Now, straying away from the standard sports car, Lil Baby picked himself up a 1955 Chevy Bel Air as he wanted a classic ride. This ride costed him $85,000 to own, but this is nothing compared to his McLaren 765 LT. This ran his pockets for $375,000. It's an iconic supercar, so Lil Baby just had to have it. The interior of his white McLaren came fit with a stylish leather stitched interior, but the ride itself was constructed to be lightweight to guarantee the best speeds. The 4-liter turbocharged V8 engine powers the vehicle up to 212 miles an hour. It accelerates to 60 in only 2.7 seconds, but this is nothing to his customized G-Wagon with a $500,000 price tag, as this is a customized special edition BG Wagon. Its customizations adds a ton of new features from the regular G-Wagon, such as the 4G auto wheels and a custom baby blue paint job. Into the interior, Lil Baby had 4PF stitched into the leather of the ride all over, customizing it to make it one of the most comfortable drives he can ever imagine. However, he also added to the collection another SUV, this time being the famous Lamborghini Urus that ran him $350,000. It is no surprise, as the Urus is one of the fastest and most stylish SUVs that money can buy. Despite not being a small body ride, it still tops out at 190 miles an hour. It reaches 60 in only 3.3 seconds, making it a perfect vehicle for Lil Baby's rap lifestyle. But a symbol of truly making it in the rap game, Lil Baby would go and purchase a $600,000 Rolls-Royce Cullinan Black Badge. Now, this is the most expensive that you can buy in his collection. His Rolls has black tinted windows, custom wheels, and a white finish. Not to mention the traditional features that Rolls comes with, from their coach doors being open backwards, to famous starlit ceilings and stylish design. However, the last ride in his collection would be none other than the Ferrari SF90. This emptied $500,000 from his pockets, but it is the fastest and has the most technology ever built into a Ferrari. The Ferrari has both a regular and electric engine. It has a famous twin-turbo V8 engine, and it outputs 900 horsepower. It carries a top speed of 223 miles an hour. Additionally, Lil Baby added 2 vertical yellow stripes as well as black outlines to his red Ferrari right down the middle. However, the most famous thing about Lil Baby is none other than his jewelry collection. His first chain of many spells out the word baby. It is covered in diamonds and it is connected to a Cuban link necklace. This costed the rapper $40,000 in total for the chain. However, it's his least expensive, as his next chain is going to be the Zone 4 pendant. This represents Zone 4 of Atlanta. This is where Lil Baby grew up and started his music career, so he knew that he had to get a piece representing where he came from. But his next chain is his iconic 4PF chain. This has the logo to represent his team and label. Lil Baby splurged on the pendant and he joined it with a huge Cuban link chain to go with it. This costed him $90,000 for the piece. However, the biggest chain Lil Baby owns is none other than the QC chain. This is the biggest of his collection. The QC chain weighs a ton, as the pendant itself is covered in white gold and diamonds, and it's connected to a very thick Cuban link chain, as his iconic QC chain ran him $180,000. The craziest part is, Lil Baby's diamond ring collection is worth more than most of our houses. He has a few star-shaped rings for whenever he wants to go out in public by himself. Other than that, he has a couple of other circular diamond rings just to wear whenever he's holding the mic while performing. Now, his ring collection costed him around $720,000. It is estimated from an Icebox video that Lil Baby has 17 diamond rings. But what's crazier is the watches that this rapper has purchased throughout the years. We'll start out with a simple $600,000 Richard Mille watch, as he went on and purchased this a couple of years ago, with the estimated value of these watches now being in the $900,000 range. Not to mention, he has also purchased multiple other AP watches that he has commissioned jewelers to completely encrust them with diamonds all over, because he always wants to be shining in public. However, there was one time when a jeweler wanted to play with Lil Baby like he wasn't actually about it. There was a jeweler that sold him a $450,000 watch. It was a limited edition Patek. He wore it out to the Met Gala, and it wasn't long until fans realized that the watch he was wearing was fake. Now, this led to Lil Baby nearly dropping his jeweler until he finally admitted his mistake, and he finally refunded Lil Baby $450 grand on the purchase. This man knew that Lil Baby had goons, so he got very scared. He even promised to hire a new watch authenticator for the next time that Lil Baby came to buy. However, he obviously was never gonna return to him. Lil Baby found a new jeweler, and he would purchase himself multiple Cuban link bracelets and diamond earrings. It costed him over 60 grand. So overall, his jewelry collection is well into the 7 figures. It doesn't really seem to be slowing down anytime soon. But Lil Baby is extremely smart with his money. He has purchased a ton of real estate ever since he came onto the scene in 2020, with his first real estate purchase being a $4.7 million mansion in Atlanta. It comes with 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, a home theater and a gym, and a resort-style pool. There isn't much other information on that Atlanta piece of real estate. However, Lil Baby has also made sure to buy even more real estate for his family. He purchased his mother, sister, and baby mama all their own house. He claims that he has never even stepped foot in them either.
Doing something for other people. Like I bought my mama a house I ain't never been in. Real deal, cash. She don't got no mortgage on that.
I know that's right.
My sister's got houses, baby mama, everybody paid for. I ain't never been in nobody's house. Like, best feeling in the world. You find a house, you send it to me, I don't want to look at it. If that's what you want, I'm about to get it. Like, send me how much it costs. Like, I got a company, I got a business, make sure that they get paid for.
Lil Baby's current residence is now down in Tampa Bay. He purchased this giant 10,000 square foot home fit with 8 bedrooms, 9 baths, with a huge cost of $12 million. However, it's well worth it. Considering the incredible interior design of this house, it has a very luxurious kitchen, a huge family room, and a game room with a pool table. The master bedroom is extremely tall. It has massive windows all the way to the ceiling, with a massive terrace overlooking the backyard. However, the room leads into a giant walk-in closet for all of his designer outfits. Also, a master bathroom with a huge soaker tub and walk-in shower. Then out in the backyard, it's a huge swimming pool, and overall, the property is located in an exclusive gated community to ensure his privacy. Lil Baby's security is a huge issue, because one year he decided to stay home for the Super Bowl. He invited friends over, and he ended up having to leave the party early after word got out of his whereabouts, as Lil Baby recorded everything on Instagram.
You can't come back there. You gotta get a whole new house.
Some other extremely expensive items that Lil Baby constantly uses is private helicopters, private jets, as the rapper likes to be constantly traveling across the United States whenever he wishes. And it's only really a matter of time before he owns one of his own. But overall, he has become one of the biggest rappers in the entire game. Ever since the release of his mixtape, Perfect Timing, he has been spending money like none other. But will it last? Comment down below if you believe his money will last, because Lil Baby said this himself about his net worth.
Did a quick Google search. It says your net worth is $5 million.
Right.
Do you look up your net worth and laugh at that?
And he looked up my net worth, and it was $5 million.
How inaccurate is that figure? I'm sure you're well past that mark.
All right.
But another rich rapper is none other than Eminem, starting with his ridiculous $4 million car collection, as Eminem splurged all over the place from buying high-end vehicles such as a Porsche Carrera GT. This vehicle costed him $400,000, as the vehicle also resells on secondary markets for over $1 million. This is because it was only produced back in 2004, with only 1,200 of them ever being made. This Porsche is a perfect collector's item for all car lovers because it's got the speed and luxury by reaching 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds, while also hitting top speeds of 205 miles an hour. It's also powered by a 5.7 V10 engine, although continuing with Eminem's car collection, he has also purchased the Ferrari 599 GTO, with only 599 ever being produced. This one was hand-delivered by Ferrari to Eminem's driveway. This is one of the rarest vehicles in the entire world. It has a clock speed up to 208 miles an hour, as the cost of the car alone in today's market will run you $750,000. Although he would also pick up another vehicle produced in the early 2000s. This would be none other than the 2005 Ford GT, coming with a price of $350,000 for this luxury vehicle. It was no cheap pickup, but just like his other rides, it speeds well over the 200 miles an hour mark, and it also crushes 0 to 60 in just 3.4 seconds. However, the fastest car in the collection would be none other than his Lamborghini Aventador, as Eminem reportedly spent $530,000 to get this vehicle. He had to get the Aventador as it is one of the most iconic supercars in the entire world, hitting speeds up to 217 miles an hour on the road. However, Eminem would come in with another Porsche, as this would be none other than the GT2 RS, costing him another $330,000, but he did it for a specific reason. This vehicle has extreme acceleration built into the ride, as it hits up to 60 miles an hour in just 2.6 seconds. However, to change it up, Eminem would also purchase an Aston Martin Vanquish. This would add another top-of-the-line vehicle to his collection, as this ran Eminem $260,000 just for the ride. Eminem also picked up a classic McLaren MP4. This costed him $220,000 added to his garage, as it is his sixth vehicle that can hit over 200 miles an hour. With all of these supercars, Eminem pays people to drive them year-round. This is why he also finished off his garage with an Audi R8 Spider, coming at a cost of $360,000. Eminem loves to have many supercars in his garage, as it helps him with motivation with continuing work and creating music. However, moving on from his cars would be Eminem's real estate portfolio, which is absolutely insane. Eminem has owned a massive mansion in Rochester Hills, Michigan. He originally purchased the home for $4.7 million. It spans across 17,500 square feet. It sits on over 5 acres of land, coming in with 5 bedrooms and 5 baths. The home is extremely lavish. At the front of the home, you'll pull into a circular driveway that leads to the grand front door. Stepping into the house, you enter a giant wood-finished room, which is featuring a fireplace and a massive screen for watching his favorite TV shows. The room alone is designed with an incredibly unique way and even features a giant piano on the other side of it. Although just behind the piano, you would enter in the game room, which features a pool table and some couches and a specially designed ceiling pattern. Then heading into the dining room, the house has an extremely long dinner table, fitting upwards to 20 people, and even has a chandelier hanging over the famous table. Then jumping into the living room, it features 2 large couches, a giant fireplace, a special sky-painted ceiling, and the fireplace also features another living room on the other side of the wall. It's designed with stone upwards to the ceiling and has multiple couches in the room. Heading upstairs, there's a railing that overlooks the entire downstairs living room, but the upstairs holds a sauna room for Eminem to relax in. This was costing him $25,000 to install within his home. However, he wanted to upsize it, so the upsized version costed him $50,000. Then jumping into Eminem's master bedroom, this is a massive room, huge bed, TV, and a desk. This leads out into the walkout balcony as well outside. Although into the master bathroom, it is way bigger than most people's bedrooms or even homes, because it has a huge sink in a cabinet area, which leads into his shower that has curved glass all around it, while also having a soaker tub just behind the shower. There's also a lavish living room upstairs with giant chairs to relax in. Then heading back to his kitchen, it is fully furnished with white cabinets and has 2 of everything. He has 2 fridges, 2 ovens, and 2 dishwashers, while also having 2 islands in the center of the room. If this wasn't special enough, the sink even has a skylight window right above it to let in the natural light. Then heading into the basement of the home is a massive training area fit with all kinds of gym equipment to work out with. Eminem never has to even leave the house to stay in shape. However, if you follow Eminem Eminem's driveway around the house, it leads you into the guest house. It has a huge living room to relax in, kitchen, and a bedroom upstairs. In Eminem's backyard, he has a large in-ground pool that has multiple levels to it with a waterfall. Also in the backyard is a gazebo to relax in. However, if you continue following the path leading away from the pool and gazebo, you would then come across a full-size tennis court and doubles as a basketball court. It's very safe to say that Eminem's purchase for $4.7 million was worth it, although Eminem also owns a secondary house in a suburb just out of Detroit. Back in the year 2000, he purchased this home for $1.4 million. It reportedly acts as his main residence as well. With the purchase being made over 20 years ago, there's almost no information ever released on the inside of this house. However, with Eminem owning the house, it's safe to assume it's very luxurious on the inside. However, that would end his real estate portfolio being worth around $6 million. What's even crazier is Eminem's jewelry collection, as he has a famous connection with Rolex. Starting out with the Rolex watch that he wore at Super Bowl 56 during the halftime show, it is an extremely rare Rolex Datejust in an 18-karat yellow gold, accompanied by a 14-karat gold bracelet. Now, this watch would run the average person $25,000 for the piece. However, Rolex gifted it to him as a sign of appreciation. Although not all jewelry is free for the GOAT, as Eminem also had to chuck a light $5,000 towards a plain Rolex Datejust in silver, including on a famous white dial. Eminem even purchased a Rolex Day-Date with a brown dial and diamond hour markers. This would run the rapper $17,000. But his most expensive watch comes from his AP Royal Oak open-worked watch. The watch comes in a gold bracelet, and the dial of the watch is actually a skeleton, meaning it shows the inner workings of the watch. Ever since Eminem purchased it, the watch has actually been discontinued. Right now, the running price for a newish one is $250,000 to $300,000. Eminem also has a solid gold rope chain which he wears in public outings very often. This is a reported $35,000, as it contains upwards to 305 grams of gold. Although outside of his jewelry collection, Eminem is pretty intrigued by buying rare comic books. He's lately purchased a high-quality Amazing Fantasy number 15 Spider-Man book. Originally printed back in 1962, it is an extremely rare comic book, and some auctions have seen it sell for over $1 million. But when you're as rich as Eminem, you can basically grow a passion for collecting almost anything, which is why it is no surprise that Eminem also got into the NFT space, where he dropped a ridiculous $450,000 on a Bored Ape. On top of spending his money in crazy ways for himself, he also does great things by giving his money back to the people in need. In his hometown of Detroit, it will forever hold a special place in his heart, which is why he created his own Marshall Mathers Foundation. This is dedicated to assisting those in Detroit and its surrounding communities. It's been reported, and I quote, "Eminem donates to food banks regularly and is a contributor to the 8 Mile Boulevard Association, which works to build up the public transportation system in Detroit. He also donates regularly to Excellence for Detroit, an organization that helps underprivileged students succeed in college." As Eminem even took the time to sign a sealed Infinite Vinyl record to be put up for auctions, with all proceeds going to charity. However, one of the richest rappers is Lil Durk, starting with his iconic SRT Hellcat, which came with a $65,000 price tag. The Hellcat is powered by a supercharged V8 engine, putting out over 700 horsepower and topping out at 196 miles an hour. While the Hellcat brings the speed, he's also got another car for just a classic look, which would be his Cadillac Eldorado, which he has actually ended up modifying very recently. Often seen Durk pose in several music videos and social media posts with the vehicle, Lil Durk's version is believed to be from the 1980s. He's customized the vehicle with several modifications, even adding a unique paint job and rims. This has become one of his signature possessions, costing him over $90,000. Continuing with his classic collection, he also has a Chevy K5 Blazer. This has been last produced all the way back in 1994. The SUV cost the rapper a further $50,000, and it took him months to find. However, after purchasing the vehicle, he would add multiple mods to the car, turning it into a complete monster truck, adding massive wheels and blacking out the entire car. With Lil Durk already owning a Hellcat, he went on to purchase a Trackhawk for his hit song titled Hellcat and Trackhawks. The Trackhawk would cost him another 90 grand. Whether he's cruising down the highway or parked outside of a club, the Trackhawk is a perfect vehicle for Lil Durk. However, he was missing just one vehicle in particular. This would be none other than the Lamborghini Urus. The Chicago rapper purchased this Lamborghini Urus back in 2021. He has been spotted driving it around the city, and it's known to be his daily driver. The Urus is a sleek, metallic SUV powered by the best twin-turbo V8 engine that money can buy. It also hits 190 miles per hour at the top speed. Despite being an SUV, the Urus set Lil Durk back a total of $240,000. Only 2 months after purchasing the Urus, Lil Durk would go on to purchase the brand new Ferrari F8 to his collection. As Lil Durk one day just decided that he was missing a Ferrari in his garage and he quickly wanted one in his possession, Lil Durk paid for the Ferrari all in cash at the price tag of $325,000. Mind you, this was just a few days after he advertised on Instagram that he needed one ASAP. A company known as The Roadshow would not disappoint. They quickly responded to his request with a white-colored F8. He would then take it to Instagram immediately. The Ferrari is one of the fastest and it tops out at 211 miles an hour. Everyone knows Durk loves his supercars, however, he also likes to have fancy rides as well, which is why Lil Durk has also purchased a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, a top-of-the-line SUV known for its incredibly comfortable drives. It is one of the most sought-after vehicles that money can buy. Rolls-Royces are a true symbol of success and status, so Durk had to just get his hands on one. Even if it came with a $340,000 price tag, he didn't budge one bit. You may be thinking that's the most expensive vehicle that he owns, however, you would be surprised at the next one. This is none other than the Lamborghini Aventador, valued at $400,000. Lil Durk has been spotted driving this vehicle several times. The Aventador is one of the most high-performance vehicles, and it can reach 60 miles per hour in just 2.5 seconds. His wife, India, has spoken publicly about Lil Durk driving this vehicle, saying that she doesn't like that he owns it. This has a top speed at 217 miles an hour, being Lil Durk's fastest car ever. Overall, Lil Durk's car collection is already over $1.7 million. Aside from his car buying, he's also had to give his money to multiple pieces of expensive jewelry. From his famous OTF chain and pendant, it references his record label titled Only the Family. The customized pendant is made out of gold. It is covered with round-cut diamonds, with the final cost of it being around $25,000.
What he said that?
He said, bro, like a cheeseburger. Ain't nothing cheesy over here. This is real water. Y'all jewels all over for real.
Durk has also went out and bought a Durkio Crazy pendant, but more importantly, he also got other chains that are covered in diamonds to remember his late cousin Newski, as well as his best friend King Von.
Y'all know that V-Roy and this ski D thing. Y'all know where they at, man. Music, man.
You know jury, you know this.
He's gotten these pendants for another $35,000, finishing off with the white diamonds attached to the top gold frame. When it comes to chains, he owns an impressive 705 gram Cuban link. The chain alone comes with a price tag at $85,000. Durk has also bought multiple rings, with his most interesting one being his titled 300. The 300 ring comes at $23,000. It was made out to show the number 300 on it, representing his hometown of Chicago. Durk can't seem to get enough of the Cuban link design, which is why he even brought it onto a customizable ring, costing him another $6,500 for it.
The Cuban link. Water. Shout out Izzy.
Another ring he wears would be one ring that is actually made out of 3 rings stacked on top of each other. So that would be the one piece would be more noticeable when taking photos. Just for this, it would cost him another $14,000. However, diving deeper into Lil Durk's jewelry box is where you would find his 3 Cuban link bracelets. This totals up to $25,000 for the 3 of them. However, Lil Durk also followed it up with a gold and diamond covered watch, totaling $95,000. But this wouldn't even come close to the most expensive piece of them all, which would be none other than his Richard Mille RM30 watch, costing him $300,000. But this wasn't enough for Lil Durk, so he would take his watch to Icebox, where they would completely ice out the watch, covering the casing around the clock with aftermarket white diamonds. This is when we would see Lil Durk show some of his most expensive pieces.
Hold on. I lost my little thing right there.
I ain't lose. Maybe. I know that.
You lost my
Ah.
got 4 of them.
Ah.
Got 4 of them right there. Nah. what else you got? A paddock. A paddock.
However, Lil Durk's most expensive purchase in his entire life thus far would be his house in Atlanta, Georgia. His house is on a large plot of land, giving room for whenever he may want to expand to even larger homes. The house totals close to 7,000 square feet. It features a swimming pool in the backyard, alongside a little patio area to relax in. The home features 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. Even just for owning the home, he gets access to the private golf course that is right beside his house. As we've even seen Lil Durk posting to IG talking about wanting to go out into the course and play. However, the home is pretty casual. One of the coolest features of the home would be the at-home studio. Whenever he feels the need to record a verse or a certain hook that he wants to keep, he can just go upstairs to his studio and begin producing as he wishes. While prices of the home has not been released to the public, houses in the area that are customized to his features is close to around $2 million. But Drake owns some of the most expensive items in the entire world. Drake likes to buy everything. He's even went on to spend $10 million on his car collection, starting out with his Bugatti Veyron that ran him $2.2 million. It's one of only 12 that was ever produced in the entire world. It's not only extremely rare, but it's also the first car to ever reach over 250 miles an hour, and it accelerates to 60 in only 2.5 seconds. Although Drake continued purchasing, as he would buy himself a customized Rolls-Royce Cullinan with a unique design throughout the entire car, which is completely blacked out with leather seats and exterior. The Rolls-Royce also features its iconic coach doors that open backwards. And you know Drake had to add on the Starlight headliner for the roof of the car for during night drives. However, the car that looks the craziest in his collection is the Devel 16, costing another $2.5 million, and it tops out at nearly 350 miles an hour, accelerating to 60 in only 1.8 seconds. The car's design looks like it's from the future with 2 jet exhausts coming out of the back, but Drake would continue buying supercars, like his $500,000 Lamborghini Aventador, which tops out at 217 miles an hour. It's just another car, however, that sits in his garage collecting dust, similar to his $1.5 million Ferrari. With only 500 units of this model made worldwide, Drake has laughed on several occasions due to how little this car ever gets driven in the real world. Yet that wouldn't even top the luxury of his Maybach G650, arguably Mercedes' most special ride ever created. With only 99 of them ever made, it costed Drake $1.3 million to get his hand on it. All of the other vehicles in Drake's exclusive collection range from another 2 Rolls-Royces, both being the Wraith and Phantom, a special edition Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, multiple Bentleys, and a McLaren 675 LT. Outside of his cars, Drake loves spending his money, which is why he created a solid gold pair of the OVO Air Jordan. Wrapped in 24 karat gold, these sneakers are truly one of one and even weigh over 100 pounds. This costed Drake $2.1 million for the shoes, and unfortunately the shoes are unwearable due to them being completely gold and also weighing over 100 pounds. While the decision to drop $2 million on a pair of shoes you can't even wear sounds dumb, this is actually Drake's unique way of investing in solid gold. However, with Drake growing up and discovering Tupac's music, he was the inspiration for Drake to even begin rapping. So once Drake got the money, he would go on to purchase 2 of Tupac's chain pendants, and it drained over $600 $600,000 from his bank account. However, when Drake would catch wind that Tupac's crown ring was up for auction in 2023, he knew that he had to get it, as Tupac wore this ring on his last public appearance on the MTV Music Award, as he would sadly pass only a few days after that photo. During the auction, Drake continued raising the bid until he finally purchased the ring for $1.02 million. But Drake would not be done with his ring collection, as it's no secret he's a huge fan of the NBA and, more importantly, the Toronto Raptors. So when Toronto won the championship title in 2019, the team actually gave him an official championship ring. But this wasn't even enough for him either, as he would go on to purchase a second ring commissioned with 30-carat diamonds for the price of $200 grand. But everything we have mentioned so far is nothing compared to the Air Drake private jet, instantly recognized by his OVO owl on the tail of the plane, including the blue sky-wrapped artwork that was designed by Virgil Abloh. It is an incredibly luxurious plane, as on the inside it has multiple private suites, 2 living rooms, and even a meeting lounge. This plane can fit up to 50 people on board. It's actually one of the biggest private jets ever created in the world. Despite the plane being valued at $180 million, Drake would actually get the plane for free since he's partnered with the company titled Cargo Jet. They used Air Drake as a marketing campaign for their company, but alongside his ridiculous private jet, Drake has also been seen loading up on real estate, such as his limestone mansion in Toronto that he had custom built for $100 million. He surrounded the property with a 15-foot wall. Drake knows that he needs to keep himself secure for whenever he's at home in Toronto. Inside of the mansion, it has just about everything you could ever need, from installing a full-size basketball court to play whenever he wants, an indoor pool and spa, and even a movie theater. It wouldn't be a Drake house without a recording studio on the inside as well. So whenever he has lyrics that come to him in his head, he can jump downstairs and start recording instantly. He also has a large lounge area, designed lavishly with unique seating and marble flooring. But with Drake being a huge fan of the NBA, one of his favorite rooms is his jersey hall. The jersey hall features many signed jerseys from all-time great players, most notably Kobe Bryant and LeBron. Although Drake's master bedroom is huge, he has a massive bed, a unique design that speaks luxury. Then heading into the master bathroom continues the marble theme, a giant bathtub and vanity, which then leads into his walk-in closet that stores tons of shoes on the wall and drawers all over for the rap mogul to pick out his outfit. But you know Drake has got to own more than just one house, so he splurged $90 million on his Beverly Hills estate that is fit with 10 bedrooms and 20 bathrooms. While it isn't as flashy as his house back in Toronto, the home comes with just about everything that he needs outside of the basketball court. Overlooking Los Angeles, the home would be a dream to live in. But he also has another house in LA known as the YOLO property. This is worth $12 million at this time. While the house is incredibly designed and speaks luxury, the back of the home contains a tennis and basketball court, including giant swimming rock caves. From having an 80-foot water slide in the back, an entire area to relax in inside of the cave, it is no wonder that Drake had to get his hands on this home. However, with Drake spending so much money on himself, he also likes to give back to fans that show up to concerts, handing out many designer bags to lucky guests over the years. However, one fan created a sign saying that he spent all of his furniture money on a concert ticket, which left Drake feeling pretty bad for him. So he gave the fan $50,000.
OVO for life, right? My manager is my DJ, right? Is he over there? He's right there. You know what, my man? Your furniture money, I'm gonna give you 50 bands tonight because I love you. Make sure he gets his money tonight.
However, one of the weirdest things Drake ever done with his money was spending $100 million on an abandoned amusement park titled Luna Luna. This used to be a famous park back in the 1980s. It has special art pieces created by the designers, but it was shut down over legal reasons 30 years ago. However, Drake put in the money to revive the park and he opened it back up. You can go visit it today, but it will cost you a pretty penny, as Drake would need to reinvest this money in even more expensive jewelry, such as when Drake purchased the one-of-one chain that Frank Ocean wore to the Met Gala in 2021. Created with 18-karat white gold over the 9,000 diamonds, the cost of this chain ran Drake $1.9 million. Drake even showed up to an NBA game to display his new shiny piece. Although Drake spent a ridiculous amount of money on a specially created and designed watch that features a spinning table in the center of it, Drake customized this version of the watch alone ran him $600,000. Then with Drake like having a symbolic owl OVO logo for his brand, you already know he had to go out and get it iced out to hang on one of his chains. So he commissioned the OVO owl for a pendant, creating it from solid gold and encrusting it with diamonds all over, causing the chain value to go up $200,000. But then he linked up with fellow singer Pharrell Williams to buy some of the pieces from him. This totaled up to another $2 million spent on jewelry. Pharrell would also include an entirely gold-wrapped Sony PSP for Drake as a gift. However, Drake's most expensive jewelry that he ever purchased was a 42 diamond necklace. He calls it previous engagements. Now this represents one diamond for each time that he thought of getting engaged in his past relationship. And the necklace is created now out of 351 carats of diamond. It's also created out of 18 karat white gold. This is an extremely expensive and rare piece because each diamond was hand selected for the year. So the final cost of the piece was $12.5 million. One of the weirdest pieces of jewelry, however, was a pink diamond in his teeth. Celebrities are in love with icing themselves out wherever they can, and most opt for a diamond grill. However, Drake would stray away from that and instead get a singular pink diamond, running his pockets for 15 grand. However, he would end up losing this diamond shortly after. Another rapper that loves expensive things is Gunna. Gunna loves luxury cars. He has spent over $2 million on them alone. But with this legendary Rolls-Royce Cullinan, it's a different story because Young Thug actually gifted this to him in 2020.
Twin bought me a Rolls Royce.
Car, man,
That's crazy. By the road truck.
The Cullinan holds a V12 engine generating 600 horsepower. It is customized with an all-black paint job, with Rolls being one of the peak of luxury rides. Young Thug knew that he had to hook up Gunna with one, as it came with an iconic feature of a star-lit roof in the interior, as well as doors that open up backwards. Although after Gunna got his first, he and Young Thug would then split on a second Rolls-Royce back in 2021. They ended up demolishing it for Young Thug's album release titled Punk. Then heading deeper into the garage of Gunna, he would then pick himself up a Lamborghini Urus. Costing the rapper 280 grand, he customized the car with an orange exterior and white leather seats inside. Although the main reason for the purchase is the high performance of the SUV, featuring a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine and reaching 190 miles an hour and accelerating 60 in only 3 seconds. But it also goes without mentioning that the Urus has the top-of-the-line technology in the dash, and it is actually the best SUV that money can buy. But Gunna would then finally buy himself a very fast vehicle, being none other than the Porsche Turbo S for $210,000. This is one of the few supercars in his collection. It hits a top speed of 207 miles an hour with an unbelievable acceleration to 60 in only 2.5 seconds. Adding another supercar to Gunna's possession would be none other than the Ferrari 812 Superfast. He splurged a $400,000 bill on it, and it is engineered to perfection, not only coming in a very fashionable design, but it also hits speeds to 212 miles an hour. This does make it the fastest car in Gunna's collection, although Gunna needed to add another sports car to his garage. So he would pick up a classic 2020 Chevrolet Corvette C8 Stingray. This is actually one of the cheapest vehicles in his garage, running him $95,000, and it brings just as much speed as you can ever need on a regular road. It accelerates to highway speeds in only 2.8 seconds. But then Gunna decided to completely change everything, because for fun, Gunna decided to throw $100,000 at this weird 3-wheeled ride. It is known as the Campagna T-Rex. He took it to the body shop to have it customized with a yellow exterior and orange leather seats. He even added a custom Forgiato wheels to it as well, and surprisingly, this little vehicle can reach speeds to 150 miles an hour. However, since Gunna is extremely popular, he also needed a very safe ride. He purchased a Cadillac Escalade for his security squad. He customized it with very thick glass windows to protect him in case he ever gets ran up on. This costed him $170,000. While Gunna's car collection took a huge chunk of money, he has also spent millions of dollars on his jewelry. From iced out chains to watches, rings, and bracelets, he has it all. Just because his watch collection alone has ran him over $1 million. He has purchased over 15 watches since the start of his music career. He has everything that you can imagine, from Rolexes, APs, and even a Richard Mille. But what makes his watch collection a little sad is that most of them were actually gifts from Young Thug, as Young Thug gifted Gunna his first ever designer Rolex watch, as in 2021, he would also hook him up with 4 APs for his birthday.
Still my birthday. Still my birthday. Not one, but two, not two, not three, 4. Still my birthday.
Although once Gunna's money started rolling in, selling a bunch of records, he began spending wildly to expand his collection, picking up an AP two-tone encrusted in diamonds for $65,000. He also added on with a Richard Mille. It costed him around $125,000 or more. However, any type of designer watch is good for Gunna, because he would go on to purchase a black hublot piece covered in diamonds. He even bought himself a Rolex Jubilee with a blue face dial and once again, iced it out in diamonds as well. But you already know that Gunna had to buy himself at least one Patek, so he would pick up a Patek watch costing him over $100,000. However, with Patek recently discontinuing the watch, this watch is now worth over $200,000. He would go on to state in an interview that he is going to be hiding this watch for several years and waiting for retirement. Although Gunna didn't cheap out on his rings either, as he would first showcase his snake ring that wraps around 2 fingers. Fully encrusted in diamonds, it is one of the most unique rings that we have ever seen. It ran his pockets $30,000, but he also got a special thumb ring and it ran him another $17,000. But he has got way more diamond rings that fit with different patterns. It all costed a total of 40 grand.
This is Charlene. This is Charlene. Right here. Charlene. I'm pushing. You see what I'm saying? See who on here. Let me see what's happening. What's up, P? What's happening?
Although an iconic part of his jewelry collection would be none other than the triple stacked Cuban link bracelet. When he puts on all 3 of them, it actually spells out drip or drown. This costed him $15,000 for each. Then when it comes to his chains, he has got honestly too many, starting with a thick Cuban link chain in rose gold costing him $40,000. But his most valuable pendant and chain that he owns is a Cuban link necklace that has snakes on both sides, and then it connects to a massive pendant that spells out the word Gunna. He said that it ran him $250,000 for the piece. But another one in his collection is another Cuban link that's connected by a snake again, and it has a giant pendant that reads YSL, representing the Young Thug label. But with Young Thug in jail and Gunna out in the free world, who knows what he even did with this piece. Overall, his jewelry collection ran him easily over $2 million, and despite spending a bunch on himself, he has also gifted a couple of pieces back to Young Thug, since that's what he first did for him. This is way before the legal issue started, I might add.
Yep, it is.
Like, bro.
Proud of you. Proud of that guy? Roly poly. No cap. Proud family.
Not to mention, for Young Thug's 29th birthday, Gunna also did him a solid in gifting him $100,000 in cash. Although adding on a different accessory to his fashion, Gunna purchased a ridiculous amount of sneakers, costing him another $50,000. Not to mention all of the designer bags that Gunna has purchased for himself from Birkin and Louis Vuitton.
You pushing P? You pushing P or what? Or what? I'm in Chanel and they wearing the money now. You feel me?
But when it comes to the mansion that Gunna stays at, he actually purchased a home for himself in Atlanta back in 2021. Unfortunately, no photos of the home has ever been released besides 2 from Gunna's Instagram. He stays very private about his whereabouts, but it does show that he has a recording studio while having a modern interior. Then it comes to the cost of the house. He said that himself, it costed him well into the 7-figure mark. But with no official numbers ever being released, it is safe to assume it's likely above $5 million. And while Gunna has spent a ridiculous amount of money on himself and making multi-millions of dollars every year, he is sure to give back to the ones around him. He went back to the school that he went to growing up and donated several of thousands of dollars to renovate and fund the school for all of its needs. Not to mention, he put a literal grocery store inside of the school where everything is free. This helps out families of the school in underprivileged areas. But what getting back to the ridiculous spending from the rapper, he got really deep into the NFT craze, as Gunna purchased himself a Bored Ape NFT for $300,000. Nothing ever really came from it since it's just a picture, but you know, Gunna had to hop on the hype train in 2021. Ever since returning home from jail, however, he's been releasing several viral tracks, skyrocketing his net worth well over $8 million.